Once upon a time, high up in the sky, a little bird was taking flight. It flapped its wings, feeling free and alive, when suddenly, oh no, it felt something brush against its leg. Startled, the bird looked down and saw that one of its feathers had come loose and was drifting away in the wind. At first, the feather was in a panic. It was twisting and spinning, rising and falling erratically in the currents. It didn't know where it was going. The wind seemed wild and unpredictable, and the feather was at its mercy. "Oh, dear!" it cried out, not knowing where it would land next or what would happen when it hit the ground. But then, as the feather drifted further away from the bird, something strange began to happen. It realized that its journey had been guided by the wind, and it trusted that it had landed exactly where it was meant to be. "I'm safe, and I'm exactly where I need to be." And that's when the feather knew that what felt like falling was actually guiding it all along. It had been surrendering to the wind that allowed it to find its purpose and place. The panic in its heart slowly started to fade away, replaced by a sense of calm. It learned that sometimes, when we feel like we're falling, we're actually being guided towards exactly where we need to be. We just have to trust the journey and have faith that everything will work out in the end. As it floated along, it passed by things it never expected to see, like fluffy white clouds that looked like giant cotton candy from far away. And as it floated higher and higher, the world spread out beneath it like a patchwork quilt. It continued on its merry way, singing and soaring through the clouds. But every so often it would look down at the fields below and wonder what it would be like to drift along with the wind, to let go of its worries and fears and just see where the day would take it. As the feather lay there, it looked around at its new surroundings and realized something incredible. It wasn't just any ordinary field. It was a wildflower meadow, full of all kinds of beautiful and interesting plants. There were daisies and buttercups, poppies and Queen Anne's lace, all growing together in a riot of color and texture. Fields, forests, and rivers all seemed so tiny from this perspective. And yet, despite the feather's fear of the unknown, there was something about this journey that felt strangely comforting. The wind may have been wild, but it was also warm and inviting. And as the feather surrendered to its embrace, it began to drift towards a sound, a soft, gentle sound that seemed to be calling out to it. As it approached, the feather could make out the details of where it was going. It was floating towards a field of soft, goldenrod, a place untouched, beautiful, and wild. And then, finally, after what felt like a long and winding journey, the feather landed gently on the ground. It came to a stop in a patch of tall grass, nestled amongst the flowers and swaying gently in the breeze. The feather had traveled a long way, but now it felt a sense of peace and belonging that it had never felt before. "Oh my goodness!" it exclaimed. "I was so scared, but it's okay now." And so the feather stayed in the meadow, becoming part of the wildflowers and swaying in the breeze with the grasses. The little bird that had lost its feather way up in the sky didn't even notice that one of its feathers had fallen off.